From a distance, a passerby may think Pittsville's like so many other small towns that are sprinkled across this great country. Many are unaware of its presence or any claim to fame, or the mystique of Panther pride. But those who pass through the halls of the local high school experience its uniqueness and know the answer to the question, where the heck is Pittsville? The exact geographical center of the state of Wisconsin, according to Governor Walter Kliefgen in 1952. The center point is marked by a stake that stands on the banks of the Yellow River that borders the west side of town. The people's lives flow like the water of the river. The camaraderie of the curriculum and the competitive electives over the many years has manifested the spirit of Panther pride.
1964.
1946.
59.
Good cheer?
And I went all 12 years to Pittsville.
No, I attended St. Joseph's Catholic School here in town.
I attended the entirety of my grade school years, the Babcock Graded School.
I was the horse and buggy days.
And then I went to Good Cheer School, which is near Pittsville, for a year and a half, and then I came back to Babcock.
8 grades.
First grade through 8th, we didn't have kindergarten.
We were too smart for kindergarten.
Well, the Scranton School was out just off of Highway 54.
You know where the Scranton School is now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
It is southwest of Pittsville, about 8 miles, where County Highway E and 54 intersect.
I'm the exhibit coordinator for the Historical Society, so I take care of a lot of the things like doing arrangements in the museum and kind of helping decide what we accept, what we don't accept, how much we have. We get something donated that was already, for instance, if we had another slate blackboard donated, we would probably have to say, no, we can't accept it, we already have one, that type of thing.
I play the role of the teacher here at Scranton School when we have kids in for a day at Scranton School.
There had been, 47 schools in the Pittsville School District at one time. The actual first donation was made in 2001, and Josie Tomczyk actually made a $600 donation in memory of her brother. And then I think it was in 2009 that we moved it. We started the project in 2008. The estimate was about $50,000. We didn't have much in our savings account. But so many people who had attended one-room schools donated. There were donations anywhere from $5 up to $1,000. Most of them were like 20, 30, 15. And they'd write letters, This was the one that was left. It was still in bad shape, but not as bad as the others, because some had burned, some were moved, some were turned into hunting shacks. There just weren't very many available anymore.
When you talk about bad shape, there was a hole in the roof, there was a hole in the floor. It was full of junk when we first saw it. I mean, we had to clear out all the junk. And then when our contractor was getting ready to move it, when he was doing the bracing, he found that there was dry rot in both the sidewalls, so they couldn't be even saved. So when he took the windows out, he sliced off the back, the vestibule area came into town intact, and he flopped the front wall down onto a trailer and brought that intact, and then he reconstructed the sidewalls. So it was unbelievable.
But like the wainscoting, that's all from the original school. Much of the glass, there were windows broken out, much of the glass was still from Scranton School. Some Granny Rosenquist's barn still had glass in it because he had done repair work for quite a few years. So we salvaged that, took it to the hardware store, and they cut that old glass to replace what was missing in here. And the school bell, the original school bell was donated to be hung again, but it had a crack. So it would go, bonk. So somebody got on the internet and found that the bell was made in Ohio, and they had 3 more that were made in that same time frame, so they donated a replacement. We had to pay the shipping. And so the bell that's in the tower rings beautifully, And the kids love that too. They love to ring the bell.
We offer this program to give kids an idea of what it was like to go to a one-room country school in 1946, which is the year that the school closed. So we have tried very hard to reenact for the kids what it was like in 1946. When they get here, they get costumes that were like what the kids would have worn in 1946 to school. The boys get bibs and the girls get jumpers or dresses that would be sort of like it would have been in 1946. Then we take their picture and we give them an identity. They get a name tag with a name of a kid that with a name that a kid would have had in 1946. And on the back of that name tag is information about them, their family, what they did before they came to school that morning, how many siblings they have, and from that point on, that's the name they go by all day. And then they come out to the school and they have a few minutes to find out who all their siblings are and if they're here today. Because while in the history, their siblings are anywhere from birth to age 16, we only have first, second, and third graders in school today. And we did that for a reason, because we are focusing to third and fourth grade groups. And so we want to be sure that the reading lessons that we teach are at a level where all kids can succeed. So we have first, second, and third graders. Teachers come back and tell us that the kids tell them that this is their best field trip ever. And they'll come back, several years later and they say, oh, that was the best field trip we ever had.
Mother rented a room in Pittsville, and she'd take stuff and she'd come and get me on Friday afternoon and do my, wash me up and get my clothes all dry and take me back Sunday afternoon to this room, and I'd stay there all week to go to high school. Yeah, then when I came back to Pittsville, I worked at the bean factory, and from there, then I went into the bank. There was only 3 of us that worked at the bank. Just worked my head off when I was young.
That was 1945, and I think we had the whole school had a kind of contest to name the mascots. And for some reason, Pittsville Panther sounded good to me, and I suggested that. And I think that's what everybody said, well, that's it, let's use that. So that's no big deal. But I just happened to suggest that, I remember. In fact, the Historical Society called me. I lived in Fort Atkins, and Marge Lippert called me one time, asked me about naming the Pittsville Panthers, because they gave me credit for it, so no big deal, but it worked out. So I tell everybody I'm the original Pittsville Panther.
Reading and writing and arithmetic, taught to the tune of a hickory stick. You were my queen in calico, I was your